One of the greatest stories on loyalty I ever heard of in my life is a true story. I'm going to pass on to you folks a beautiful story about loyalty. 50 years ago, Delta Airlines started in Monroe, Louisiana. A county agent named Woolman called a friend named Biedenharn and said, "You know something about flying, I know something about agriculture. Let's get together and see if we can figure out a way to fly this poison on this cotton where it'll kill the boll weevils and won't kill the farmer." Thus, through this experiment, Delta Airlines, the professionals, were birthed. They have been having the annual stockholders meeting in Monroe, Louisiana, in the small room at the bank there in Monroe that they chartered Delta Airlines in. They have the annual stockholders meeting there every year. Mr. Biedenharn always goes. Mr. Biedenharn's father is from Vicksburg, Mississippi. He bottled the first Coca-Cola ever bottled in the world. Joe Biedenharn Candy Company is a beautiful tourist attraction at Vicksburg, Mississippi right now. You can go there and see it. The last stockholders meeting of Delta Airlines was held at the Room in Monroe. The moderator said, "Any new business?" A fancy-dressed, good-looking man from New York City said, "Mr. Moderator, Delta Airlines is a great airline. We are the professionals. And I want to see us start having our annual meeting someplace other than Monroe, Louisiana. One year we ought to go to Chicago, next year Memphis, next year Baltimore, next year Washington, next year San Francisco, and let's change it around. And I move you, sir, that the next stockholders meeting not be in Monroe, Louisiana." Second motion. Moderator said, "Is there anyone wants to speak to this motion?" A man got up from New Jersey, well dressed, said, "Mr. Moderator, I represent 80,000 shares of Delta Airlines stock, and I intend to vote to move this meeting out of Monroe." Any other discussion on the motion before we vote? A good-looking gentleman in his 70s stood up, white-haired, three-piece suit. He said, "Mr. Moderator, my name is Bernard W. Biedenharn, and I represent 580,000 shares of Delta Airlines stock. And I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome all of y'all back to Monroe next year."